Welcome back, everybody, to your second group stage match for the GEST IDC September. It's going to be Pacific Esports, or eMaxx, excuse me, facing off against Dreamz, which, of course, is headlined by a player beloved, really, in the Pinoy community, that being Jules, who did, unfortunately, leave Mineski. I guess that's really old news at this point, but for me, it's hard for me to get used to not see him in that Mineski tag, I gotta say. I'm LD, and, of course, joining me is GoDz.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is going to be a fun game, I can tell already. This is probably the most highlighted game of our series for today. eMaxx up against Dreamz, and yeah, Jules. I'm still weirded out by the whole. Oh, he's not in Mineski, he's in Dreamz. I mean, it's not something I mix up anymore, but it's just still like whenever I picture him and like where it
feel right.
Yeah, I agree, but he's done really well with Dreamz, and if anything, Dreamz have been playing and getting better results than Mineski over the last few months. They've won a couple GMPGL titles, but they've yet to crack the nut that is GEST. They've done well in the group stages. They've never won a championship or even finished in the top 3. They haven't got any prize money from this tournament in about 7 months of playing it.
It's a pretty grueling format, I gotta say. I mean, first you have the group stage, is very long, very tiresome for the teams. And then you have to come back, and I mean the playoffs are it's not easy to work your way through those brackets. Just especially there's so many teams in this tournament that can just pick something completely unexpected, and then you're sort of left scratching your head, and it's hard to prepare for. How do you prepare for a Centaur pick, for example? Well, it didn't work out too well, but you get my point. I mean, even something like a Techies can be very tough for teams to deal with. Pretty standard bans. It is a Wisp ban coming out from Dreamz, so maybe a little bit afraid of that Wisp-Riki combo. Is eMaxx a team that has been running that as of late?
Yeah, eMaxx love their Wisp, and that's something that a lot of the Filipino teams have been using. I was a bit surprised to see Mineski not going for it last game. They went for the Shadow Demon instead. But we're going to see some very fast picks right off the bat. Once again, Morphling first pick. Not only the flavor of the month in Dota 2, and not only one of those big pain in the asses there, but here as well. And it's something you almost have to first pick against Pacific eMaxx, because if you don't pick it, they will. Firebus loves playing as Morphling.
There you go, back to that name. I'm sure someone in the chat will be flaming you in about a minute's time, but it is going to be the CK, the Queen of Pain, picked up for eMaxx here. And then, oh wow, look at this team. Really strong laning phase for them. Rubik, Puck, and Morphling, two very elusive heroes. And if Rubik can get some levels, a lot of fantastic spells for him to steal. So far, the big ones are going to be the Blink and the Chaos Bolt. Now, generally, I've seen when Dreamz run this, it's normally played as a support, and when you have a Morphling who's going to need farm, a Puck who's probably going to be a solo, would you expect to see him as a support? I guess he could go solo mid, but I'm just not sure we're going to see that.
Yeah, he can go solo mid, but I think all the Filipino teams prefer him as a support because he doesn't have the mobility as some of those other solo heroes. Or if they put a hero solo mid who's not a very mobile hero, it'll be something like a DK or a Slada, something that's really tanky and hard to kill, whereas Rubik doesn't really fill that role. So I think it's more likely he's going to be in that support role. For now, though, eMaxx looks like they want to go... I mean, they pick up a very early CK, so that sort of looks like they're going for an aggressive tri-lane of some sort. They pick up an ES as well. Those two heroes could quite likely go to the same lane with some range support, and then Queen of Pain, a very strong solo hero. And I think they want the Queen of Pain partly to match up against that Puck.
And it's a snap ban for the Ancient Apparition, which when you already see CK and ES picked up, you're expecting the tri-lane. That's probably the most important hero to ban. You could get something like a Lina. That's still an option for them if they want to combo it up with those two, but AA just fits in so well, and then he gives you great anti-push. And AA is also a terrific counter to Morphling. If the ult ever hits, Morphling cannot morph to Strength. Well, he can, but he's not gaining HP from it, which is the whole reason to do it. So, pretty smart ban there, I have to say, on the Ancient Apparition. Makes a lot of sense on a couple of fronts. And who do they go for if they want to tri-lane? Shadow Demon might be a decent setup hero, but of course he's banned out. The Ancient Apparition got banned. There still are some options, but I'm thinking right now Lina might be the best. I don't know if eMaxx run it, but it gives you some more burst damage, great against Morphling. Punishes the shotgun, although it is quite a squishy hero. And she doesn't need to initiate because they have the CK or the ES to do it. They're almost out of time, and they finally banned the DK.
Yeah, I think they're afraid of that DK potentially going as a solo mid, and yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but they may just want to go for the CM and just have that additional nukes, 2 nukes in fact, which could give them a really strong tri-lane. Definitely possible for them. It'd be interesting to see what Dreamz want to do to make their tri-lane as defensive as possible. They could pick up something like the Sand King if they want some stuns and disables of their own. Have Sand King, Rubik, and Morphling. But for so far, Pacific, I mean, banning out DK and Slider, they're banning out those solo mid heroes. I say solo mid, yes, these teams, they will use Slider as a solo mid. So Pacific, they're expecting Rubik to be played as a support.
Yeah, it makes sense. You just, with those two picks, the Morphling and the Puck, you probably need to see him in a support role. This team right now, they don't really have much team fight to work with. The Puck can provide some. They've got Waveform. Rubik, in theory, can provide it, but if he's a support, he's going to be slow getting those levels. To me, they don't really have that hero that goes in first. If Puck gets a Blink Dagger, he can fill that role. But even so, he's very frail, and generally, you talked about Sand King, that would be a great hero. I mean, Earthshaker's already picked up. I'm not sure who else would fit the bill, but it does seem like they need another stun, especially up against Queen of Pain and Chaos Knight. You do not want these two just running rampant through your team.
Yeah, if they get something like a Sand King, maybe even something like a Tiny as your solo mid hero. I mean, it's a hero that used to be really popular. Was often picked up in the first three. As of late, it hasn't seen that much play, but it does fit that solo mid role, especially with DK and Slider being banned out, and that can be a hero that does go going in first. And they won't play that as your damage dealing Tiny. We saw a bit at the International. They'll play that as your Blink 4-staff Yule Scepter. They'll go for these super mobility items, and they're gonna go Panda and Brewmaster. I think that's gonna be their solo mid now. Deciding that's going to give them a really nice initiation. So, I mean, there's your initiation. Puck, like you say, a bit too squishy to be entirely relied on.
I like this Panda pick as far as the laning phase goes. It's a great candidate to Bottle Crow. If he goes solo mid, which he probably will, he's fine against any of these heroes. Not the easiest to gank, pretty decent armor, great HP gain, strong in the lane. But when you look at a lineup that has the mobility of a Queen of Pain and a CK, if EMAXX go for a couple other heroes that can move around the map quickly, if you can bait out the Panda ultimate, he's really not the same hero without it. So it's not that they have to hit every... Oh, wow. Lion is the pick. Is this our tri-lane hero, or is there any chance we could see him soloing? I think it's going to be the support, but I guess you never know for sure.
Yeah, probably the support, and what a great hero to pick up. Having disables, especially a Hex against Puck and Morphling, is crucial. I mean, that stops him from morphing stats. I mean, Impale, he can start casting it during it. So having Hex alone is really crucial. Make sure you can kill Puck as well. And then Panda, I mean, you need the disables if you want to kill him before he gets off his ultimate. So really useful pick. They may even want to run it as a solo for that very reason. We'll see what they get last. But there's a lot of disables. With CK ES there as well, it's going to be really not an easy game for both Panda and Puck to make sure they can use their get-out-of-jail-free cards. I mean, Panda getting his ultimate off, Puck getting the phase shift, the blink off. Shen is going to help keep those heroes alive. That's your last pick for Dreamz.
The team fight of Dreamz is pretty unrivaled right now. They just have so much. Because they pick up the Panda... Shadow Fiend! Well, if we started off with Centaur, we thought that was a little different. Shadow Fiend is the pick here. Can they do anything really cheeky at level 1? Is there any way for them to get him some early souls? No, they don't. For anyone who didn't watch, there was a match that Infused played in Dota 2 where they had a Venomancer. He dropped some wards at Roshan right away, and then Shadow Fiend would deny them to get some extra souls off the bat. But nothing cheeky like that, but this gives them some great burst damage. How are they going to lane him, though? He's so squishy.
Yeah, I think he's going to be... is he not going to go? Yeah, he's going to go solo mid. Queen of Pain's going to make his way to the top lane, so it's going to be Guava playing the Queen of Pain towards the top lane. Shadow Fiend will be soloing mid. Wants to get that bottle. He's going to be bottle crowing basically to spam Raiders win that lane. Uh-oh, bottom lane. Shen caught in no man's land. That is a sure kill. CK got so much mobility, such a fast hero. And with all those disables, they get a fast First Blood, and First Blood going to the CK as well. He's got enough gold for that battering right off the bat if he wants it. And this trial at bottom is going to be scary. I'm not sure what Chen was thinking going there that early. I guess he wanted to get down the Observer ward, block the pool camp, but he took too long getting there, and those heroes were there waiting for him.
We've seen they have other heroes to place those wards. Give the wards to the Puck or the Morphling, much more difficult to kill, or just wait a little bit longer. So impatient play, and a little bit unlucky too, running the 3 heroes there. Jules trading some hits with the Lion. We should introduce Dreamz, but I'm just waiting for this rune to spawn. It's a DD, and the Fissure block as well. He can orb out. Just manages to do so, but taking a lot of damage. So I'll go ahead and try to introduce Dreamz. Jules will be handling that off lane, playing the Puck. A lot of stats picked up for him, not saving anything for a quick bottle. Morphling looks like he's going solo mid. That's A? I can't pronounce that. Maybe you want to help me out here, so I don't...
I'm as lost as you, man.
A-Y?
A?
A-E? We'll call him
A.
A-E.
All these players... Yeah, they often abbreviate their names, but I often forget who each one is because of all the abbreviations.
Alright, we'll call him AE for now. And someone in the chat can flame me in a few minutes when when they hear that. But it's going to be Psy J playing the Chen. It's going to be SS, or Series Y, excuse me, handling the Rubik, and then Owie. This one I can pronounce. Going to be playing the Panda.
Yep, that is his actual name. Or I think Owie, I'm not sure which one it is. But over on the Pacific side, I don't think I actually finished introducing these guys. I feel like
look at this puck. Look at this puck. They see what he's doing. They know that Jules is doing this.
He's gonna tango his way out, maybe? No, okay. He's gonna use the orb to get vision of them. I'm not sure. Okay, he's using the orb to escape as Queen of Pain's coming. Queen of Pain all the way from top lane, deciding that, well, that he can't
not?
go up lane. I mean, he's just coming over to annoy the puck. So Queen of Pain and puck both going to be level 1 for a very long time, I believe. Queen of Pain is he going to use to spot himself? Oh, that is cheeky. That is very, very cheeky.
They are devoting 2 heroes to do this, but at first it was, well, if I can't have fun in my lane, you're certainly not gonna have fun at these ancients. But look at the ancients now; he's taking a lot of damage. Whoever kills this ancient is gonna be very happy. Puck being driven back, Jules still not using any abilities. Blows being traded. Queen of Pain will have the edge here. More auto attack damage, better animation too, driving the puck back, and this is working out pretty well. No one's dying, at least not yet, but they really want to kill this ancient, the rock column. So far, not able to do so, but Jules is being completely denied, and the random facilities picked up is the aura on. No, it's only on heroes, so they're doing the right thing right now. They don't want to push the lane out. 3 heroes to shut down this puck. Jules getting some serious hate right now from Pacific.eMaxx.
I mean, it's the way to play. It's what happened a lot back when Mineski was sort of at their peak. Teams started to do well against them when they basically shut. I mean, Jules would often play that side lane solo, but they just realized if Jules gets off to a bad start, gives up a couple of deaths early on, often he would fall too far behind and then just dedicate too much time to farming and just never really gets himself in the game.
Here comes the smoke gank.
It's a way to play.
Here comes the smoke gank. Is the telekinesis? It is just in range. Probably going to be not our first blood, but it will be a kill most likely. Going onto the Shadow Fiend. Correct pathing from him, running down the river, waveform in, the orb just missing, Shadow Feed will take a fall, and Jules answers back. But they did have to commit 4 heroes to do that, and a smoke. Expensive kill, but killing Shadow Fiend early, always going to be worth it. And now he's going to have a really hard time against Morphling. He was last hitting pretty well, but losing those souls, and now Morphling getting some experience. That lane's not going to be any fun for him.
Oh yeah, this is, it's a lot harder now. I mean, Morphling going to get that. Get the fast bottle crow happening, probably bringing out some boots soon as well. And once he hits around level 5, he can just be waving on and just winning this lane on his own in a 1v1 matchup. So early games from SF, so useful. Top lane, Panda's hit level 4 and being very aggressive on this Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain forced to blink out and still in a bit of trouble here, trapped in some trees, does have a couple tangos if needed. Looks like they're not hunting in the jungle right now for him.
Apparently it is Owe, so I think we might have both been wrong there, I'm not sure. But either way, apparently it's Owe, according to someone in the chat, so I'll use that from now on. Look at the aggression. Both teams, they really don't like these off-lane players at all, punishing them as severely as possible. It is going to be a bottle up for the Shadow Fiend and the Morphling. In spite of that death, he's still trading evenly, but it's going to get a lot harder now. Because Morphling can just jump in and instantly drop Shadow Fiend to half health once he hits level 5. If Shadow Fiend hits some good raises, though, he can turn that one around, but it's a very dangerous situation to be in. And you always have to be worried about Chen. That's why we see the wards being placed here for both teams, just trying to get some vision over that hill. Overall, do you give an edge to either team right now? It seems pretty back and forth, but I would say a fairly even game overall so far.
Yeah, fairly even game. I think, if anything, I think Dreamz are in a slightly better position just because of that gank succeeding on the Shadow Fiend. The first blood was just on the Chen coming in the jungle, but that kill on the Shadow Fiend was very important. And it looks like there could be another kill coming in. Shadow Fiend's going to try and turn it around.
Oh, he's blocked.
Oh, he had another wave. I mean, he could have committed for the SF there, but decided he didn't want to. Maybe he would have got the kill but gone down, but he decided not to go in.
Right, and that's the thing about this Morphling, is he requires 2 heroes to deal with him. And if you try and come and gank him, he's a much harder kill than the Shadow Fiend. Queen of Pain, gotta be careful. Telekinesis, clap as well. There's the orb, Test of Fate too, and down she goes. Great chain studying there. And roaming puck, these off-lane players, we saw it last game, and especially this game. I gotta say, Jules playing very impressively, and maybe that's why he got so much attention on the bottom lane. But he has left that lane, which means now comes Pacific Esports. Lorena Basilius is on. They want to knock down this tower, and we haven't really looked at farm, but Chaos Knight is leading the way, or at least he was last time I checked. 38 CS, Panda the next in line at 31. Chaos Knight getting this quick of a start is really important because he does not farm well in the mid game.
Yeah, that was more of a trade more than anything. I mean, Queen of Pain going down there, they knew, well, they didn't know they were going to get the tower on a tower at bottom, but the fact that Puck was there securing the kill, left bottom lane wide open. Now Dreamz, they want this top tier 1 town with Panda just hitting level 6. They can make it go. This is a TP in. Oh, they're going to be disabled. They don't get it off. He needed to use that Hex on the Panda. They get the kill on Rubik. Panda's probably not going to actually be able to get any revenge kills here unless Queen of Pain goes down before the blink comes off cooldown. Panda chasing very far in. He needs to be careful not to overcommit to this because his split's going to expire very, very soon. Queen of still alive, and this Panda is going to go down. I think he just overstayed his welcome there.
Oh, wait, gets him with the clap! Oh, at max rage too, gods. But he really overcommitted for that one. And normally, you know, the decision to focus the Queen of Pain there, possibly not the right one. Bottom lane, Jules taking a lot of damage. Man mode from the Chaos Knight. Not going to find the kill, actually tanking the tower quite a bit. And now with the bottle crowing, Jules, especially with the tower going down, it does help in terms of the gold, but it also means Puck has a safer lane to farm. The tower's still up top, so if Queen of Pain wants to farm there, it's going to be significantly more dangerous, farther pushed up, and, well, we'll have to see how it pans out. But that clap, man, just barely hit it at max range.
Yeah, that was that was something, but it still was. I mean, the Panda, who was the higher level hero there, was the bigger pickup. Queen of Pain, though, getting denied XP and gold, is still level 4. Wants to have some time in the top lane, but this is actually, I mean, it's not entirely bad. I mean, Lion's about to hit level 6. This Lion is off to a great start in terms of XP and even some decent farm there. I mean, doesn't have much, any CS really, 5 CS, but just has some decent gold from being involved in these kills.
And let's remember how he started the game. He was basically tri-laning the enemy Ancients. He wasn't exactly getting a lot of experience there, but he's just been in the right place at the right time ever since that moment, and the Panda kill especially, so costly. I mean, normally when you think about a kill turning the game around, it's ending a big kill streak, a hero not being around to contribute, but the experience is just huge this early, and unfortunately it looks like we might have... No, we get the pause off, so no disconnects.
No disconnects as
of yet. And a wise decision.
I've got that hotkey readied up nice and quick. For when I do, in fact, recall the fact that I need to save. We're only 7 minutes in, though. And I don't think the actual load game within the platform works all too well. It has to be like a manual load, so one of the players would have to load it, which doesn't often go too well.
I'm always very skeptical of relying on loads. I mean, even in Dota 2, it's been so hit or miss. I think now it's pretty much settled, but you don't want to have to go to a load.
From what I've seen in Dota 2 with loads, it's been only miss. I've never seen it successful. When it first got introduced, I saw it work once, maybe, or twice. Then it stopped working for like months on end.
Well, they disabled it for a while because apparently the way the load feature works is the server every minute was saving saving data about the game, but it was causing a lot of lag for the players. Like every minute there would be a lag spike, so they just disabled it for a while. But I think they might have fixed it. I believe it was on an international, though thankfully we never had to see it get used. And we are back in business. And
yeah,
kind of a lull here for the moment. Not too much aggression from either team.
Yeah, and I think that works better for Pacific. I mean, they've got the Shadow Fiend who wants to get his level 7. He's picked up a Brace, so he's probably going to go for some treads. Now, I like this early Brace. I think it just gives him a bit more survivability. All the stats help him out. The Agi, the Intel. It's just a nice cost-effective item. CK at bottom lane. We'll see where he wants to go. He's just hit level 7 now. He's picked up Tread's Ring of Health, and they just want to go for that Vanguard to help tank up as much as possible. And with Puck as well as Rubik at the bottom lane, he's not in too much danger because he's just really too tanky right by his tower. TPs can come in very, very quickly.
Yeah, Jules doesn't want to kill now, though, either. He just wants to level up. He's only level 4. We saw last game, Puck really doesn't contribute until he hits level 7, at least. Get the orb maxed out, get the ultimate up. And then ideally you want to get higher. Then you can spam your phase shift. You can use the silence for more damage and a longer duration. It's just, he gets a lot out of levels. So I think both teams, neither team really wants to fight right now, but there's going to come that point in the mid-game where these lineups get very explosive. And one of the heroes that can be quite explosive, it's the Lion, who is already level 6. He's had Finger of Death for, honestly, 2 minutes now. Hasn't used it yet. Chen, waiting in the wings, thinking about a backstab. Not committed yet, but it's on his mind, man. And here comes a hasted level 4 Rubik. You gotta be careful, Huge. Gotta be careful.
Especially with Lion just sort of heading towards that top river. Lion had just left the SF alone. SF, though, he's found a bit of a big stack here. This is a what, triple stack here that he's going to try raise on down. He's actually stacking it again.
Oh, they might see him. Oh, this is so greedy. Top lane, though. Panda takes a fall. Tower gets denied, too, and that Hex, so strong. Again, oh, Shadow Fiend pops back into the lane. Now they come onto him, telekinesis, and he is absolutely dead. Or is he? Netted in place. Yes, he is. Just burst down. Too easy. But that Hex against Panda, he could not drop the ultimate there. Easy kill. I'm not sure he would have wanted to anyway. But that Hex is proving to be very effective.
Yeah, it's a useful tool against many of these heroes, and we'll see maybe later on if they want to gank Morphling. Morphling is not farming all that well, only with 36 creep kills. He's going to be very killable because of this line pick, and I mean the fact line is leveling so well. Often you'll see a support tri-lane line, especially when you mentioned he spent so long just shutting down Puck in that jungle there. He's got all these levels, which is going to be a really important thing, more so than any items. Just having the fast levels, getting up points in Impale as well as Hex. I mean, only level 6 at the moment, but he's going to maybe share some XP at mid lane, go around with his SF and just back him up.
And we haven't even seen what I think is maybe the best hero for the Hex to deal with. It's the Hex against the Morphling. And Finger of Death too, if you go for Ethereal Blade, well that gets turned against you real quickly. The shotgun gets ripped out of your hand, spun around, and suddenly you're blasting yourself in the face. If you go into Ethereal form, we'll have to see what kind of a build the Morphling wants to go for. But the Hex against Morphling as well. You can't morph, you can't toggle it when you're Hex, so it's a very potent hero. And you give him this many early levels, it could be big. Bottom lane, 3 seconds stun on Jules, looks to be in a lot of trouble. Impale and Finger of Death instantly brought down. Not sure they needed the Finger, but against Jules, you're better safe than sorry.
Against Jules, yes, you do need it. it's personal when it comes to Jules. I feel like he's probably one, when it comes to Warcraft 3 Dota, as far as these Filipino teams, he's the one player that people just love to gank, love to kill. It's like when you're playing against your friends on the other team in a pub game, you spend the entire game chasing him around. In professional games, it's like that with Jules. You just find him on the map and say, okay, let's go kill Jules. Even if there's a Morphling, there's a Panda, let's kill the Puck.
You know, it's like you get an A in class when you're a kid. You want to put the report card on your fridge to show your parents and make them proud, or maybe not if you weren't big on your studies, but for some people that applies. Well, they get a gold star now for killing Jules. And honestly, I mean, they weren't using the Finger of Death. Definitely not a waste by any means. But now, Shadow's being pressured mid. Somehow, Biobus has managed to hit level 7.
Jules again. He's on the feed train. He's been picked off again by the chain stuns.
It's hard. I mean, once the first one comes in, you're dead. You just can't escape.
With an ES Vision, can come in out of the fog, and then during
middle lane, Morphling dropping low, Wavestorm's back. He'll be okay. In comes the Shadow Fiend's Courier. Are they going to go for it? No. They want something else. Oh, Telekinesis, back on a Biobus. The stun is going to hit after the blink, and TP out. Will he get bashed? Will he get bashed? No bash from Roshan. He gets away. Is the fight over, though? Oh, it's a great migration coming out here. The 3 chain stunners now running for their lives. They do not want to fight against this army. Looks like they'll escape. I was waiting there. I was holding my breath. I wasn't sure. Are they done? Dream Coil catches the Lion. Oh no. Wave on in. Not going to connect. Will they chase? This is a long way to go. In comes the Fissure. Lion taking a lot of damage. One more waveform. Is there Mana Fort? There is. Lion takes a fall. Chaos Knight will skate on out of there. But this is buying a lot of time for that Shadow Fiend. Pressuring the middle lane. Ogre Club picked up. Looks like it's going to be a BKB rush. And I got to say, great item to have this game especially.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised CK didn't turn around there. He's finished off his Vanguard. He's really tanky, and I mean, Morphling waving on in on pretty low HP.
He actually missed the first waveform. He didn't even hit.
Yep, and this Morphling's going to try to deny this mid 2-1 tower. Oh, it's deniable now. SF doing a bit too much damage there. It looks like it will get denied. CK, ES coming from right. ES, Echo Slam, Fissure takes out Morphling. As it is the end of him, as now the tower goes down as well, and that gets picked up by the SF. Big pickup there from Hug. Or I think he's also known as Red Ice, for those of you Filipino fans who know this team. And he's going to pick up the tower. That's what he needs to get. His BKB is only about 700 gold away now.
Once he has the BKB up, that's going to be it's going to be really hard to fight against him. There's no way to deal with that BKB on this lineup. You know, Panda can drop the ult. He can right-click on the Shadow Fiend, but you can't use any of the abilities to deal with him. Puck's Dream Coil gets broken by it, and now he can farm Ancients too, which he's doing exactly that. And this is the smart play. Don't really show yourself in the lane too much, because as soon as you do, they're going to try and pick you off. They have the heroes to do it. I'm a little surprised. Owe has gone for a Vanguard, and it's a great laning item, but they really need him to get a Blink Dagger up. Where is that initiation going to come from otherwise? I guess Morphling can try and wave in. Puck's nowhere near a Blink. I don't know about this item choice, but now that he's gone for it, he's got to farm a Blink next. That's got to be his next item. And meanwhile, top lane. Oh, Jules, don't do it. Oh, what a phase shift. What a phase shift.
Yes. I think basically Pan is thinking, okay, they've got all this disable, all this lockdown. I just need to be tanky enough that they can't kill me during the disables. But
then they can just run away.
But yeah, and the other thing is, even with the Vanguard, I mean, they've still got enough damage with a Finger of Death. I mean, they can out DPS it. It's like plus 300 HP or plus 250 HP. It's not going to be enough just to keep him alive. If they want to kill him, they will.
And there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 5, 6. I'm counting 6 disables right now, and that's just from abilities. If you count Earthshaker's having 3, which, I mean, maybe it's not 3 full disables. It's still a lot. Uh-oh. Lion is going to get caught out. Fissure was stolen by Rubik, pulled back in. Are they going to look to fight here? Lion, Test of Faith, easy kill, and is the fight over? Queen of Pain's got to book it on out of here. Meanwhile, it's Morphling in a little bit of trouble. In comes the gank on him. Looks like Queen of Pain should be able to blink into the trees and escape. Morphling, great juke. And Ehi will go up to the high ground and survive. I know I just butchered his name there.
That's alright. It's actually LA, if you want to call him that.
LA.
That's his normal alias. All these players love mixing it up, confusing myself, confusing you who doesn't normally get the Cassie theme, but LA is the Morphling. And yeah, I mean I'd say that's okay for Pacific there. I mean they lose the Lion there, but they commit the Panda ultimate. They used a lot there, expecting more heroes to be sitting behind the Lion, but the fact it was only Lion means it's a small loss.
This Morphling, I don't know how we missed this, guys. Sorry to cut you off, but this Morphling has a Midas.
Yeah, that's very, very aggressive. I'm not so much aggressive in terms of farm. He wants to really, it's very risky in some ways as well. And SF, instead of going BKB, has picked up a Lothar's Edge, so he's going to go for the BKB after. It's just wanted the Ogrex for some HP before he finished off the Lothar's Edge, decided he could farm it faster. But yeah, Midas, I don't know, what are your thoughts?
Well, Morphling does really need levels, pretty level dependent. Fissure is going to catch Panda. Are they going to look to go? Pulled back in, Reality Rift from long range, and the Impale comes in, but they have gone too far. They will be forced back. Fissure gets stolen, and now Rubik catching 2 with that. Lion goes down again after such a great start, just getting caught out repeatedly. And are they done yet? Chaos Knight wants to go back in. In comes the Shockwave. Puck silencing on nothing, basically. Oh, this Chaos Knight is in a lot of trouble. He gets caught out by a massive party. In comes the Fissure, the Clap as well. On the wrong side, though. Blocks away the Panda. There's no Blink Dagger. This Chaos Knight, with 9 armor, telekinesis, pulling him back in. Fissure again. The stolen Fissure. Dream Coil on 2. Now, Yafits, or should I say Hug, wants to fight, taking a lot of damage. The heal comes through. Oh, what a Requiem! They get the puck, and they're not done yet. Are they going to get one more? They will. Rubik goes down, gets this Shadow Fiend, tries to strut away, tries to get on out of there, and the Shadow Blade, Shockwave down to 20 HP by the skin of his teeth, although I don't believe Nevermore has any, but he survives, damn it. He survives.
That Requiem of Souls got cancelled about 3 times. I think it kind of worked in eMaxx's favor. The first one got cancelled by the Puck Dream Call when it was only going to hit maybe 2 heroes right on the edge. The second one got cancelled by an Ensnare, and then the third one, well, I think the third one didn't get cancelled, and it was the perfect Requiem of Souls. It did so much damage, took out Puck. Rubik as well got down so low. I mean, I think it almost worked in his advantage. It kept getting cancelled, although it did look bad for eMaxx. It looked really bad for eMaxx until they got that off.
And he's gone for Shadow Blade. This is I mean, I kind of like this item choice because you don't really, especially once you see Morphle as a Midas, you don't want to go ultra late game, at least not without having some kind of an advantage. Your Chaos Knight has gone for tanky items, but he hasn't gone for any big damage. So I like this choice because it just allows you to continue to be aggressive. And he's got a DD. He could look to go in with the ult. Plus, it sets up your ult beautifully, forces the supports to buy multiple wards, which they don't want to spend their gold on. But I gotta say, man, the thing that I came away with from that fight is they really want to kill Jules, because it wasn't just the Requiem of Souls, it was the Queen of Pain ultimate on top of it. Jules just cannot catch a break this game, and, well, that means no Blink Dagger for him, at least not anytime soon.
Yeah, I think he's okay. I mean, he can still have a fairly decent impact on these fights without a Blink Dagger. He just has to be a lot more careful, and they're relying on Panda to be the one in the front line. How's Panda's Blink coming along? It looks like, oh, he's only on 1,200 gold here, so he's still a bit of a way as well, but...
He stopped for arcade
farm. He's not level 11 yet. He wants to get that level 2 ultimate, so he'll probably spend the next couple minutes farming the Blink, getting his level 2 ultimate.
Yeah, he stopped for arcane boots, so that otherwise he would have had the Blink, but probably not the mana to use it. He doesn't have drums. Wand is normally not enough, at least not reliably. So I mean, it makes sense to go back for the arcane boots, but again, it does delay the Blink Dagger quite a bit. Shadow Fiend up to another 2k gold. Yeah, Morphling has a Midas, but this Shadow Fiend is just really, I gotta say, having a much bigger impact on the game so far. And they didn't really pressure him that much. They ganked him once, but then they left him unchecked. Morphling sitting at 83 and 8 right now. Shadow Fiend up to 95 and 15. Oh, Queen of Pain, Telekinesis starting this one off. Where's the silence? There it goes. Test of Faith for 1,000,000,001 damage. And an easy kill.
I didn't know Test of Fate did between 50 and a billion damage, but it sure looked like it did there. That hurt. And I mean, the good news for Pacific is, I mean, it's not just Shadowfiend, it's also CK, who's almost finished off his BKB now. He's just 400 gold away from it. He's already bought his Mithril Hammer. So for Pacific, they've got two key heroes with a lot of farm. Over on the Dreamz side, I mean, Panda's not really super farm. Morphling's not really super farm. He's going for that Midas build.
Bottom lane. Morphling, Fissure, Impale, where's that finger? I believe they already used it. Stun, 4 seconds, he goes down again, guys. Fissure stolen again. This Rubik played out of his mind, stunned, killed off at the tower, and the Dream Coil caught multiple heroes. Now the Lion in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack. Panda clap, dodged by the Chaos Knight, turns it back around, goes in, 2 second stun, easy kill. The Fissure used again. Chaos Knight, is he gonna stay or is he gonna run? Can't really make up his mind. Now he's thrown up in the air, sort of running but sending the illusions in to do some damage. Can they kill him? He is just so tanky. Still alive, and I'm not sure they can catch him now.
Yeah, and he's got a couple of magic one-charges. If he wants to turn around, drop a stun on someone like Rubik and make a play for it, especially if he gets some backup coming in, he could have. But for now, he's going to back off, and I think that's an okay decision here. Queen of Pain at top lane, trying to get that Lincoln Sphere in. That's actually, I really like this item. We've seen countless times Queen of Pain get smoke ganked or just 4-man ganked, and it's the telekinesis initiation or some initiation that really seals Queen of Pain's death. So having a Lincoln Sphere could block that initiation and really keep her alive.
Yeah, I think it's a really solid choice, and the thing that's killing her off, like you said, is the telekinesis, because it sets everything up. You can't blink. So it will help a lot to deal with that. And do they have a follow-up ability that would be really potent? I mean, I guess if Panda uses his ultimate, then the Boulder Toss can come into play, but even then it's single target. The only other thing that she'll have to worry about is the Puck, who is finally getting close to a Blink Dagger, but it's so late. It's already 21 minutes, and he has stopped off for some cheap, cost-effective items, but nothing too big. The thing I'm still amazed at is, as though the Midas wasn't enough, Morphling has gone back for Boots of Travel, so another farming item for him. But he's running. Whenever he sees heroes, he's pretty much just running away, which means how much is he really getting out of this? He just wants to dodge them. But here comes the smoke gank, and his team might not be so lucky. Oh god, this could be so bad. There's your Fissure on the Chen. And are they really going to back off? Oh, Shadow Feed!
Going for the right-click damage here. Oh, defensive Fissure actually kind of blocks off the Chen who gets force pod and ultimate. I think he should go down here. SF, BKB, ulti, Rubik in all kinds of trouble. The right-click damage will finish him off. They only got one, though. They committed a lot to that. BKBs and everything. Chen trying to walk back in. Oh, the Impale! It does find the Chen, and Pacific.eMaxx find themselves 2 kills, 2 support heroes, and they're going to want to get a tier 2 tower at top. The last outer tower remaining with that, and this is looking pretty good for them. Jules decides not to back up his team. Jules was just at bottom lane farming. He's got his Blink Dagger up now, though.
Yeah, that could be big. Although I'm not sure it's enough, because I look how tanky the heroes that you really need to kill. There's also BKB on the Shadow Feet and the Chaos Knight. And if you blink in and there's a quick reaction from the Lion, he can hex you. There is no cast animation that happens instantly. And there's also a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, so they have a hero who can sort of counter-initiate. It's a nice item pickup. It's definitely something they need. But especially with Morphling having a Midas, this team is not really built to fight right now. And it's odd to say that, because they have a Chen, they have a Panda, and a Puck. I mean, normally when you pick heroes like this, you want to fight in the mid-game with the Hand of God, with the big AoE ultimates. But it's really, they can't right now. Oh, Panda, don't go in. Oh no, there's the stuns. The evasion removed by that Hex and an easy kill. And they really can't leave their jungle or their base at this point, at least not towards the top side of the map. It's going to be constant pressure in this lane. Aggressive wards placed. I gotta say, it's not just the fact that Pacific is finding these kills, it's what they do afterwards. They push the towers, they put wards down, and they keep the opportunity for future aggression online.
Yeah, they haven't managed to try go uphill, go for the tier 3 towers yet. They've taken all the outer towers, but next few pickups they may want to go for Roshan, but for now they're quite happy to keep on farming those next big items up. I mean, SF probably wants to get up a Manta style or at least some other DPS kind of item. Queen of Pain starting to build towards an Aghanim Scepter, and that's really going to help out as well. I mean, Morphling, he's just got nothing. He's bought these Boots of Travel now as well, but he's not really anywhere near any sort of damage or survivability item, and it's just not looking good for Dreamz because of that.
You know, I've done this build in pubs because it's like, well, I don't trust my team. So, Dream Coil on the Akasha, taking some big damage. The phase shift, or excuse me, the blink out should be okay. No, comes back in and looks to set something up. In comes Chen as well. Earthshaker dropping low, wands up. Fissure will connect. Not enough. He takes the fall, and now is the fight over, or are they going to continue? You know, this Morphling, I mean, you talked about it. He's standing here looking for an opening, but he doesn't really want to go in and fight because there's no items to fight with. Middle lane, it's probably going to be Panda taking fall. No, nice blink back, and he'll escape.
Yeah, I mean, Morphling's gone for this farm all 3 lanes kind of thing, as well as farm really fast. He's got the Midas so he can farm faster. He's got the boots of travel so he can just TP to any lane on the map, wherever the most creeps are. He doesn't really want to TP and help out his team,
Shadow Fiend, middle lane, taking some damage. If there's a shotgun up right now, he's dead, but he seems to be fine. BKB gets used, and there's your Requiem of Souls. Big damage coming out. Chen, one more auto attack, still alive. 4 seconds down on Morphling. They're not finding the kills just yet. And the fight now looks to turn the other way. Chaos Knight in BKB form. Panda can't really do anything to him, but still giving chase. And now the BKB ends. Shadow Fiend BKB used as well. 2 BKBs, and they lose a hero. Not a good engagement. And this might be the turnaround they're looking for. Morphling still not coming in. Nisaj, or the Chaos Knight, really not able to do too much. Pulls one hero back in, but fighting Panda with the evasion is not easy. It's not what you want. And slowly but surely, he's going down. Earthshaker gets picked off. And now Chaos Knight, one by one, they are finding the kills. They are turning this one around. And I gotta say, Dreamz, I question the Midas, but the rest of the team is really making it work.
They're just playing really well as a team, man. I think they basically at the moment that was them outplaying eMaxx. I mean, eMaxx they went in a bit too recklessly. They popped the BKBs. They didn't really get any kills. Chen survived on red HP, which gave him time to get off the ultimate, get off his mech. And if they'd finished him off, it could have been a different fight. Even if they had, though, they still overextended a bit. They used their BKBs just to kill a Chen, and then Panda comes in with his ultimate. All this damage comes flying in. I mean, from the Fade Bolt, the Puck initiation. Puck is just so hard to kill now. And it's just Dreamz. They're just team fighting a lot better than eMaxx are, and it's not because they're heroes. It's just because of the way they're playing.
Yeah, they're really just outplaying them right now. That's the bottom line. Lion will blink away and be okay. The other thing about that fight is it's not that they just win the fight. It buys you at least a couple of minutes from Morphling. First, you push out the lanes. Then you have safe access to your jungle because the creep equilibrium is going the other way. Then you get to farm your jungle, so really it buys him a couple of minutes. It probably buys him 2 Midas usages unchecked. Now he's up to almost 2,000 gold. Ultimate Orb picked up something on the Crow. That's just his bottle. Still bottle crowing even 26 minutes in. He'll probably be doing it even when he has 5 big items up if the game goes that long. But hey, he's close to something. I guess if you want to go all in on Farm Gods, the only other item you could get right now on a ranged hero is going to be a Lincoln Sphere. I'm not sure if that'll be the choice. But aside from that, what do you think this is going to be? Manta style would not be bad this game. Just to sort of sow some seeds of confusion. I'm not sure IF Skady is really what you're looking for. So to me, this has got to be either Lincoln's or Manta.
Yeah, I wouldn't think IF Skady, especially as a first item. It works as a nice follow-up item, as something to get later in the game. But I think, yeah, Manta or Lincoln's. But at this point, getting a Lincoln's if you want Lincoln's, you go straight for it. I think we'll see a Manta style because of that. With that said, he's just bought something, and it looks like it may be a Lincoln Sphere. Yeah, Lincoln Sphere recipe was bought. Okay.
I gotta say, when LA plays Lone Druid, at least in Dota 2, he probably builds 2 Midases, man. He probably does. This guy likes his gold. That's all there is to say about that. And hey, it's the build. You know, they're not out of the woods yet. He still needs a couple of items. He's not going to bring as much to the table yet as the rest of his team, or as the Shadow Fiend and the Chaos Knight will. But once he gets that next item, a BKB, the later the game goes, it's not as effective, especially against a hero like Morphling. Being backed up by a Chen and a Panda and a Puck even as well. They have some great team fight. And eventually, you know, BKB, the cooldown wears off and you just don't do as much in the fight. So I gotta say, I feel like the clock is really ticking a bit for Pacific.
Yeah, and Dreamz are getting some decent farm up on a number of heroes. I mean, Puck, he's got his Blink and 4 stuff. Someone's put a Necrobook recipe out. Maybe the Puck as well. We'll have to wait and see exactly who that belongs to. But yeah, there's a decent amount of farm on a lot of these heroes. It's not just Morphling who's farming up the map with his Boots of Travel. I mean, Panda's got his Blink up. He's not looking to get massive at this point. He really wants his level 3 ultimate. But yeah, Puck, Jules has caught up, despite having the bad start.
Don't get me wrong, Pacific Esports still has some amazing damage coming out for the Queen of Pain, the Chaos Knight, and the Shadow Fiend. It's just their item selection doesn't scale quite as well into the late game. Or I mean, maybe it's more the ultra late game, to be fair. But we're starting to approach that. There's a completed Manta style in the career. That's going to go to Shadow Fiend. That's a great item to have in the late game. And well, he's getting there. Now he's going back for his big damage items. Smoke coming in from Dreamz, looking to set something up. Replicate looks like it has been placed. He's going to be sent back to base. and then he can replicate back in to join his team. It's going to be hard to take a fight, but they have decent position. Are they going for the big wraparound? Oh, this is cheeky.
eMaxx ready to fight. I mean, that's why it's been looking good for Dreamz. But that's because eMaxx have been sort of sitting back, and as a result, Dreamz have been getting a couple pickoffs. But that's because eMaxx have been waiting to get some key items. They've got up the Mantis and SF, and they've also got the Ags on Queen of Pain. So they're ready to fight now. And Dreamz, I mean, they may get overconfident because of how well they've done the last few fights. I actually think it's eMaxx who are in a better position still at this point. It just appears maybe the other way around because of those last couple of fights. But this is a fight which Dreamz have to be very careful, especially if they get some bad positioning. If someone like Panda gets picked off before he can get his ultimate off because of a Lion Hex, it can go very, very badly for them quickly.
Yeah, or even the Chen if he doesn't get to drop the mech, if the Hand of God doesn't come out, or even if he has to waste them at the wrong time. Looks like the creeps will be massacred here by the Shadow Fiend. Maybe they're going to think about Roshan. Fighting around this pit is kind of tough against a Puck as well as a Panda, because it really sets up their ults, but when you have a Blake Earthshaker and a Lion lurking on the high ground, it's not too bad. You have some good counter initiation of your own, and it looks like they're just going to give this one up.
Yeah, the key thing here for me with Dreamz is none of their key heroes can get picked off instantly, and their key heroes is pretty much everyone. I mean, except maybe the Rubik. I mean, Rubik gets picked off at the start, you can fight without, but he has a Fissure, so Fissure is going to really be a useful tool in these fights.
Oh, looks like he tried to steal the Aegis there, was not able to do so though. Shadow Fiend picks up, BKB gets used, and Earthshaker taking some damage from the Rubik. Waveform, man, brought him down. Lincoln's and a Blade of Alacrity picked up on him. Shadow Fiend going to town, going to work, getting a couple of kills. Does he get more? He wants more. Morphling gets pulled back in, and these carries are just doing too much. There's still an Aegis up, looking really bad. Morphling may live, but the rest of his team running for their lives. Morphling is going to beat it on out of there. Now Chaos Knight, the turnaround comes in, and it's suddenly these squishy sports for Pacific are in a bit of trouble. Clap hits on 2. Shadow Fiend will be missing now thanks to that Drunken Haze. Pretty good skill to have. And Owe, is he going to go down? No, Impale! And Jules gets him. And now in comes the Queen of Pain.
Wow, back and forth, 3 for 3 so far. Aegis is still up on the Shadow Fiend. He's pretty happy with himself. And, I mean, this SF as well as Queen of Pain, they're just so high level. They're both level 18 at this point in the game. I mean, the Scourge only have the Morphling who's hit level 17 as their highest in the game. But I mean, even with a 3 for 3 trade, I feel eMaxx is still just going to get more and more farmed here. We'll see SF getting up another big item fairly soon. And Morphling, I just don't think can keep up with both SF as well as the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, this build really only works if you're able to farm aggressively all over the map. And I mean, even though he lives in that fight, he's still on the back foot. He can't really push too aggressively, especially up against a hero like Lion, who has 3 ways to remove that Lincoln Sphere, between the Mana Drain, the Impale, as well as the Hex. It's, you know, the Blink Dagger and the Earthshaker. They have so many ways to catch him off, and even if they don't kill him, they can certainly kill the rest of the team. And you might have the hardest carry on the map, but if the other team is 3 very solid late game heroes and they're getting a lot more farm, they can farm their way to victory. So the farming build, I feel this works a lot better if you're ahead. But when you're behind like this, it's hard to catch up. It's hard to keep up with 3 heroes.
Yeah, and it's really that try carry strategy. I mean, we mentioned that the Chinese use it all the time, and it's something that it's really only the Filipino teams who still do it, and it works because of the bottle crowing early on. And they also, I mean, come mid-game, they go very aggressive early on, but come mid-game, they really make sure they get farm on 3 key heroes, and that's what we're seeing here now, especially with Pacific.eMaxx Dreamz. They're trying to do the same thing. I guess Panda less so isn't much of a carry. He's more of their initiator. He's had a decent game so far. He just needs to be very careful with his positioning.
Yeah, the Drunken Haze really can do work against the Shadow Fiend. It was used multiple times there, definitely helped keep the Morphling alive. Manta removes it, but the Drunken Haze is quite spammable. But even then, it's more of a utility skill to have. It's not a big damage skill. Morphling has his first real damage item in the game. 32 minutes in. It's a Yasha. Probably going to complete the Manta style. But even then, I still feel he needs probably 1, maybe, or probably 2, at least 1 more item before he's going to be able to pick anyone off. And even then, he can still be focused down. He doesn't have a BKB. Yes, the Lincoln Sphere helps keep you alive. But there's so many single target abilities. You can't count on it solely.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree that the Lincolns alone isn't going to be reliable enough. And oh man, Queen of Pain. Oh, that's it. I thought Queen of Pain had just finished off a Sheepstick. It was just the bottle coming out, but Sheepstick is coming soon for this Queen of Pain.
Come on, man, you're making me nervous here. A sheep up this quickly at Queen of Pain, that would probably be lights out.
Well, about 1,500 gold away. Just pops the ultimate on the Panda. Panda, wow, gets very, very low. Maybe trying to force out an ultimate there. Puck with the silence, Queen of Pain needs to be careful, but should have enough HP. There's the blink off cooldown. Oh, trapped in some creep. Oh, Queen of Pain.
Bye a bus. That was not where he wanted to blink. Bottom lane though, oh, it's only a replicate. Chaos Knight probably trying to kill that off. Doesn't look like he'll be able to do so. No, in the end.
Big crits will do it, and yeah, I mean, CK Sanja's up. I mean, that's either Sanj and Yasha or a Heaven Talbot. I mean, both are decent items here. Heaven Talbot does give another option to break the Morphling's Lincoln, and also just the evasion on its own can be very useful against a lot of those right-click heroes.
And frankly, it gives you a lot of... It's pretty... Sanj in particular is very cost-effective. Now your illusions have evasion too. It's generally... Getting evasion is always going to be strong in illusion heroes. Normally we see it more with agility carries, where you go towards Butterfly, but this is a great item to me, and especially because there's only one big damage target, that's the Morphling, and now you have the Heaven's Halberd, which like you mentioned could break the Linkage, or if it's already broken, now he's not hitting you, he's not auto-attacking, doesn't have a shotgun, you can Manta style out of it, but there's so many things he has to deal with, you can't really count on, it's just they keep on piling this stuff up.
They've gone in on Panda at mid. This Panda is he going to get taken out before he gets off his ultimate? Oh, Finger of Death to hit Chen. Hand of God actually saves Owe. Or Owe, I should say there. Wow, big heal from Chen. That was a really nice initiation. ES actually popped the fissure from the Roshan.
Oh, Earthshaker. Oh, he's dead. I think. No blink. No blink. Yeah, he's dead now. Boulder Toss. They get one hero, but it's a Chen ult, and more importantly, it's a Panda ult. I feel now, if you're on the Pacific side, what is stopping you from just grouping up as 5 and barreling down mid? No Chen ult, definitely no Panda ult. And I don't know how this Dreamz lineup can fight without those.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, they're all about the team fight here, whereas eMaxx have a lot more reliable damage. I mean, SF is really starting to pack a punch. He's Lothar's in, he's looking for an ultimate. He's just going to right-click down the Chen. Doesn't even worry about Lothar to use his ultimate. I mean, heroes like Chen, heroes like Puck, they're going to be really squishy when it comes to right-click damage. I mean, Puck's going to have a lot of minus armor. Puck can probably get about 5-shotted by the SF here. I mean, sure, you've got all that mobility, but if you've used the phase shift, you drop really quickly. We saw it there with the Chen.
And who's going to kill this guy? I mean, really, he can easily solo the Morphling. Well, not easily, but he can definitely drive him back. He can out-damage him. And he's got an Aegis. It still hasn't been used. Good time to save. It's looking very, very difficult for Dreamz to pull this one out of the hat. It's not to say they can't, but it's going to take... I mean, really, they have to find a way to somehow not... either get a pick or just not fight until the Panda ult's back up, at least. But it's going to be really difficult to do that.
Yeah, when Panda's ult's up, they can fight alright, and I'm wondering if Morphling's maybe finished off his Manta style. He's got his Yasha up. I can see he's sitting on 700 gold. If he's got something on the Courier, it'll be interesting. And if he's got his Manta up soon, or now, it'd be great. It looks like he's got his ultimate orb. There is one sitting on the Courier here, so if this is Morphling's Manta... I mean, Dreamz, they've got a pretty big Morphling. The problem is they're just really pushed against the wall. They're stuck in their own base. And, well, I mean, Pacific, with the level 3 ultimate on the CK, with the Shadow Fiend, they can just really split push and chip away at these buildings. We'll see here, Manta Style SF. This is their tier 3 tower. And it's going to be really hard for Dreamz to hold this off. They're just going to keep on coming, keep on pushing.
It's a Sanjin Yasha for Chaos Knight. I did not expect this. Thrown up in the air. Are they going to go in now? No, not yet. Shadow Fiend soloing down that tower. He's got the BKB. There comes the ultimate. Requiem of Souls actually hits nothing. And now they're going to work on the Rex.
Man. It's some creeps. They're just doing it so they can push faster. Hoping to hit some
I don't know about that.
Oh, Rubik gets completely smashed, and now they just change target, go for the racks. BKBs get popped, and they just use that to ensure the racks kill in. While they're not getting any additional kills, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is those racks.
Panda blinks in, but then he runs away. Shadow Fiend taking a lot of damage. That Aegis, it has not expired yet. Probably is going to die here. No, Impale. Are they going to turn this around? Oh, Lothar's out of there. And now Chaos Knight. This might be the prize, but they've already lost the Rex. They really need to make something else happen. Morphing back into strength or back into agility. Low HP though. In comes Queen of Pain. It's a Hex. It's an Echo Slam. Down he goes. There's your Finger of Death. And now Lion in a lot of, or excuse me, not in a lot of trouble, but this Lion just having such a big impact. I gotta say, from start to finish, he's my MVP for this game if they go on to win it, which it looks like they're on the verge of doing. Hug, 3k gold on him, something big on the Courier. That is the Butterfly, almost completed. And with that item picked up, there's just no way to deal with the Shadow Fiend. He is too big.
They got the full team wipe, and SF, I mean, he wanted to die. He was like on 50 HP, he's like, okay, I'll Lothar's out. But then he's like, oh wait, I'll just come back in and try die. But by then, with all the disables coming out from Line and ES, he ended up getting a couple more kills on like 50 HP, and it's helping his team out. And they get the double racks here, and with that, Dreamz really almost completely out of options. They have to rely on a bit of a misplay from Pacific here, something out of the ordinary. But with this, I mean, this is just pickoffs after pickoff now, one by one. Pacific.eMaxx is just going to punish any hero that leaves that fountain at this point in the game.
You know, it's one thing not to be able to leave your base, but when you can't leave the fountain, it might be time to tap out. Whether they tap out or not, they're going to lose multiple racks here. They really could just go straight for the throne. And finally, the GG, or the forfeit, is called by OA. Pacific just... you know, the strategy it seemed to be just make sure Jules has a very miserable game, and, well, it worked pretty well.
Yeah, they're going to get him. It looks like they're going to get him again at this bottom lane. And I mean, really great use of Shadow Fiend, a hero that hasn't seen much play as of late. I mean, he got ganked once early on, but he caught up, and it just came down to it wasn't just him who caught up, it was because they had the 3 carries, whereas Dreamz only really had the Morphling. And I feel eMaxx did a great job of making sure the Panda just didn't really dominate the game. I mean, every time he had ultimate, he could have gone to push and pick a team fight. But eMaxx, they ganked him before he did anything. Those ganks from the Panda, I mean, it's not a hero you'd think, oh, let's gank Panda. Normally you'd want to gank the carries, but ganking Panda meant Panda was not sort of ganking them, and it worked out really well.
Do you think maybe if they had just gone for a more standard Morphling, you know, skip the Midas, skip the Boots of Travel, just get a combat item, get involved earlier, would that have maybe turned this game around? Because I just felt like this Morphling never had any kind of presence or impact in the game. And I wonder how the game might have gone differently if he had gone for something a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more offensive, something that says fight now instead of I want to farm for 60 minutes and then I'll fight.
Yeah, I think the Midas, in hindsight, he'll probably realize it was maybe not the best decision. They needed more sort of early to mid-game dominance, especially when you've got a Panda, because the whole idea of Panda is he gets his ultimate up and he's got his Blink Dagger up, or even when he doesn't, you just go push towers, because they don't want to fight into a Panda ultimate, so Morphling needs to have some damage or some useful items to back that up. Midas is not one. They're kind of playing a style where Panda would be off, well, basically maybe going as forward, and while Morphling's free farming. The problem is they just insta-killed the Panda, and he had no backup. They needed some backup there from that Morphling.
One thing's for sure, that Shadow Fiend's got some serious swagger, and he showed it today. I gotta say, I'm always happy when I see Shadow Fiend. To me, is just such an exciting hero to watch. We didn't see too many epic raises that game, but just dropping the ultimate, it's so explosive, so exciting to watch. The graphics, even though it's Dota 1, it's aged pretty well, I gotta say. I get excited when I see it going off, and they made it work. But like you said, it wasn't just the Shadow Fiend. But there's always going to be a soft place in my heart for any team that picks him.
Oh yeah, it's a fun hero to see get played, and I have to say, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. Sure, Warcraft 3 is like a 10-year-old game, but the graphics have aged well. I know a lot of people I show a lot of people who've never played Warcraft 3 or Dota 1 or just started with Dota 2 this, and they're like, wow, this looks really bad. But anyone who's played Warcraft 3 before, I mean, I still feel the graphics do deliver.
And the funny thing about it is you can play Dota 2 with all the settings, and you maybe admire the graphics for like 20 minutes, and then you just forget about them and play the game.